Hello, hello everyone. I am going to turn over to my face. Hi, how are you? Happy Thursday, almost Friday. I'm just going to give it a second to see if we've got anybody joining us. I sent out an email about, 40 minutes ago to remind everybody that I was coming live. This is only my third week in a row doing this, so I don't know if I have anybody quite on a schedule yet, but I'm trying. I don't know if it's cold where you guys are, but I am bundled up. I have my coffee. I've got 2 layers on. We're supposed to get deluged with rain tomorrow and wind into the weekend, so kind of looking forward to a crafty weekend indoors. Not that I don't have that a lot, but looking forward to it even more so. Put on a pot of chili maybe Saturday and just hunker down and make some fun cards. I'm probably going to start getting into my Christmas cards here soon. But, so today I wanted to showcase a fun Halloween project. But before I do that, I just want to make a couple announcements. So it's celebration time. You probably heard that ad nauseum from several other demonstrators over the last few weeks, I should say. But it's coming to an end very soon, so we only have about 14 days left of Celebration. And if you're new and don't know what Celebration is, it's a special that Stampin' Up! Is now running twice a year, and you can earn free products with money that you spend on Stampin' Up! So for every $50 you spend, you can earn a free product out of the Celebration catalog. And let me turn my camera down. So the Celebration catalog looks like this, and it's just a little brochure, but it has some really cute products in here that you can earn for free when you spend money on other products. You cannot buy these products, just so you know. They're not for sale. They're only available as rewards for spending money in the regular catalog. So that's going on now. The other announcement is the starter kit promotion for this celebration period includes a free bundle. So when you join Stampin' Up! For $99, you get $125 worth of product. You get a free paper pumpkin kit that is a past kit, so of a prior month, not the current month, just so you know, just to be clear. And then you also get a free bundle of your choice from these 12. And these are listed on my website. If you go to the join tab, go to cardsbycheryl.com and go to join. It will be outlined in there, all the benefits of joining Stampin' Up! And, if you just have a laundry list of supplies that you'd like to stock up on and maybe get ready for the holidays, you can join, add all these products to your list, get cardstock, you could get a mini emboss tool, you could get any, all stamp sets, you could mix and match whatever you wanted. You get to spend $125 for just $99. And then after that, you get 20% off all your purchases. So, also when you join, you become a member of the Crafty Ninjas, which is my team. And we do some fun stuff. We do some card swaps each month. And we do a Zoom meeting for Paper Pumpkin around the third week of the month. And then I'm still building this out a little bit as we go, but there's no commitment. So if you don't want to stay a Stampin' Up! Member, you don't have to. You can just get your starter kit and go and get all your products and move on and sayonara. Or you can stay on as a discount shopper and enjoy the 20% discount on all your future purchases. So I'm just putting that out there for you. So that Celebration and the join promotion. So the stamp sets that we're going to go over today, or we're going to use today, are the Cutest Halloween Suite collection and the Frightfully Cute stamp set. So I bought this as a bundle. Unfortunately, the bundle's not, it's on back order right now, but you still can buy the stamp set all by itself. When you buy the bundle, it does come with this punch called the Halloween Punch, and it punches out all of the cute little critters on this paper. So this is the Halloween paper that comes with the suite, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 different patterns, and it comes in a 12 by 12 pack. I store all my 12 by 12, it doesn't come in a 12 by 12 pack. It comes in a 6 by 6 pack. And I store all my 6 by 6 packs in this cute little zipper bag that I get from Amazon. And then I do a little it's not a printout. I take my postage stamp punch, and I just punch one of each design, and I glue it down to this, and I list out the colors that coordinate with each of the designs. So black, flirty flamingo, Highland heather, old olive, and pumpkin pie are the colors that are used in this particular set of designer series paper. And then that way I have it on hand, and I know I can just look at it quickly, and instead of having to thumb through all of these, I have a nice little cheat sheet right here for me to look at. So this is the paper we're going to be using today. We are going to use the punch, these 2 stamp sets. So let me show you what we're going to make. I made a couple different cards, and I'll show you those at the end. But this is a Hey Boo. I suppose we don't need this in the way right now. Hey Boo. I thought this was super cute. It's I think they call this a gatefold card. And then I duplicated Hey Boo on this side because I didn't like just the bare edge showing through of this one. So I just did a repeat one and did that for the inside. You put a smile on my face, have a fabulous Halloween. So this is the card we're going to make today. It does use this punch right here, which is the Essential Tag Punch. And then a couple of the dies that are from the Frightful Tags. And that goes with this set right here. So these 2 come together. And again, these dies are on back order, but you can still get the stamp set. Okay. If I have anybody out there, I'd love to hear from you. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. Okay, let's get started. Oh, and I also want to do, part of the bundle comes with these cute little tombstone treat boxes. And when you get them, they look like this. And so they're ready to go. All you need to do is fold them up and glue them. They've got pre-taped edges. Glue that down. And it makes an adorable, cute box just like this that you can fill with candy or more candy, or I don't know. You could come up with something to put in there besides candy. But it's Halloween, so gonna do candy. Okay, so we're gonna make, if we have time, we're gonna make this one too. But this goes really quick. Okay, so to make this card, we have a piece of basic white thick that I have right here. To make coffee out of the way. And we need my trimmer. Okay, so for the gatefold card, what you're going to do is cut your card base to be 8.5 by 5.5. So
Here's something I found on the web. According to theta.com.
Oh. Alexa, stop.
To get into the...
That was weird. Okay, so let's cut the... She's something else. So we're going to cut the 5.5 this way. Save that piece just for scrap. And then we're going to unfold our arm. Move my mouse. You guys see this? Unfold the arm and run this out to 8.5 right here. Okay, so we've got 2 good pieces of scrap that we can use later for sentiment strips or whatever. So now we don't need the arm anymore, so we can fold that back in. Now we're going to do a little bit of scoring, and we're going to score this at 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And because our basic white thick is pretty darn thick, I do it a couple times. Now, you could put the arm back out and score it at 6 3/8, which is the next line you're going to have to score. but I thought it was easier to just flip it around and score it again at 2 1/8. So each side is 2 1/8, which equals 4 1/4, and then the centerpiece is also 4 1/4. So your total card size, when it's folded, is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so now we've scored it, and we're going to fold these guys in, and you always want to fold where the mountain side, you've got the valley, which is the indent. That's where your score line, that's where your tool makes the line. It pushes out an outdent. Is that a word? An outdent. And so this is the side that you want to actually fold in on itself. Okay. It just, it makes a crisper fold that way. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and give that a good score. And then fold this in. And give this a good score. So now we have our gatefold, just like so. The next thing we're going to do is cut our pattern paper. So I've got some scraps already pulled out that we're going to use. So for the front two pieces, we need 2 of those, and we're going to use the polka dots. And those are cut at 2 inches by 5 3/8, because I like a little white border around. So we're going to cut, so we'll cut the 5 3/8 first. 5 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 right there. And then turn it, and we're going to cut a 2-inch strip and another 2-inch strip. And then we have a nice piece of scrap to put in our bucket. We're going to do the same thing for the inside of the card. And I want my stripes to run up and down. So we're going to cut the 5 3/8. Is that right? Yeah, 5 3/8, where the lines are going horizontally. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So that when we cut our 2-inch strips, they're going in the direction that we want them to go. 2 inches and 2 inches. And another nice piece of scrap. So there's those pieces are done. Now we need, I think we're just going to get all our parts and pieces together, and then we'll just assemble. That's kind of the fastest way to do it. So now we're going to need 2 of these cutouts that we'll stamp on. We're going to need 1 of each punches, and then these 2 circles are also die cut, and then these little guys are fussy cut. So we'll do that part last. So let's start with the punching. I think we can put the trimmer away. I'm going to grab my everyday label, or no, essential tag. And this is just some scrap paper. This is in the pumpkin pie color. And we're just going to give that a punch. There's 1. And then scrap Highland Heather. Give that a punch. There's the other one. Done with the punch. Now we can go to the die cutting. And what did I do with my dies that I just had out to show you? There. Okay, so we are going to use this circle die and also this fancy little label die. And I'm going to use my mini because it's so compact and nice. See how much space it doesn't take up on your desk? I love that. So we're going to use our scrap, die cut this guy twice. So there's 1. And there's 2. So there's our 2 labels. Now we need the orange circle and the green circle. So grab our piece of scrap again. Just pop that in there. The plates I'm using are 1, 2, and 2. So we've got 1 is the white plate on the bottom, and then 2 is the bottom clear plate, and then 2 again is the top clear plate. So there's our 1 orange circle. And grab our purple scrap back out. Whoops, don't have that lined up right. Okay. So there's the purple circle. Let's see, do we have anything else to die cut? No, we don't. All right, so we can put this away or set it aside. Scrap, get that out of the way. Now we are going to do a little bit of stamping, and I like to pull out a sheet of this is just grid paper that Stampin' Up! Sells. And when you're using the photopolymer clear stamps, I always use my Stampin' Up! Stamp and Pierce mat. It just gives it a little bit more cushion when you're stamping so that you get a nice crisp image. I'm going to use my Memento Black ink, and we're going to do the Hey Boo first. We need these 2 pieces and an acrylic block. This is my C block. You can actually do it in Highland Heather. That would be kind of cute too. Mix it up a little bit. Okay. We are going to ink this up. And you can kind of look at it and just make sure you've got pretty good coverage. Stamp that down. Perfect. Also perfect. Going to wipe it off on my wet chamois and set that aside. The other thing we stamped is the little bats onto these little tags here. And the bats came from the Frightfully Cute, this guy right here. And he is a red rubber cling stamp. So you don't necessarily need to have it on the Stampin' Pierce mat, but it's actually not going to hurt it. So I'm just going to leave it. And what we're doing here is we're just going to do some random stamping. You don't have to line them up like this that I'm doing, but I just thought I would. I thought it was cute having the little bats flying around everywhere. And maybe one more there. Okay, so that's that. And then the other thing we stamped was the inside piece, which we didn't cut yet. That is going to be on a piece of Whisper White. And I cut that down to, well, it's going to go on a Highland Heather base, which I just happen to have a scrap of in the right size. So this Highland Heather base is 4 inches by, should be 5 1/4. Yep, 5 1/4. So now what we're going to do is cut this piece to 1/4 inch less. So this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. And then that's going to layer nicely on top of the Highland Heather for the inside. So this will go in here just like that. So we're going to stamp. I smudged this already, so we're just going to flip that over. We are going to stamp on the inside. What do we say? Oh, you make me smile. You put a smile on my face, which I thought was a very sweet sentiment for Hey Boo. I'm assuming Hey Boo is going to a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a sweet friend of some sort. Okay. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. That says trick or treat. Let's do this again. This is why we have lots of blocks. Can never have too many acrylic blocks. Seriously. I have like 3 sets of the same, of all of them. So that's just going to go right there in the center. And then I did end up putting at the very bottom the long sentiment, which is have a fabulous Halloween. And I'm going to ink that up. And put that right down here, like so. Clean that off. And I think we're done with the ink for the moment. So let's set that aside. These are all of our components. We need to fussy cut a couple of things. Who knows what fussy cutting is? Fussy cutting is when you just take your scissors and cut things out the old-fashioned way, when there's no die for it. And I happen to enjoy fussy cutting, but there are some that do not. In which case, you could, if you didn't want to fussy cut it, you could take the circle die and just do this, and it would cut a little bit of him off, his feet off, but it would still be kind of cute, and then you could just put the circle on there instead of fussy cutting him out. But I'm going to fussy cut him out. And I start by just doing a rough cut. And I'm going to save this actually because I could still cut him out. I cut into his ear a little bit, so I probably wouldn't hit. But here's a little bat that would be cute to cut out too. I'm kind of a paper hoarder. I don't throw paper away easily. So I'm just leaving a very small border around. I don't know if I should zoom in more so you guys can see. And I'm turning the paper with my left hand, which is the hand that does not hold the scissors. If you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, you would turn the paper with your right hand. So your non-dominant hand is what's doing all of the work, and you're just kind of holding the scissors in place and applying pressure to cut. But this really isn't that hard to, there's a few jagged edges, but for the most part, it's a really simple cut. There, so there's that one. The other one we're going to cut is, this is what this is for, yeah. So I think, oh, this one. I like this little skull with the rosy cheeks. This one's super easy. If you're just joining me, welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Cheryl Horvath, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Woodinville, Washington. Today is September the 16th, Thursday. This is my project of the week using the Cutest Halloween stamp set. We have to cut one more thing, and this is for the inside. We need to cut this little ghost out. Oh, you know what? I could punch him. Why didn't I think of that for the skull? Duh. Let's punch him out. I need to cut away a little bit So to punch him out using this punch, you just have to line him up. I have to cut more. It's the bad thing about punches. There's really great things about punches, but one of the bad things about punches is sometimes there's waste because you've got to cut away or do some maneuvering in order to get the punch lined up perfectly. So there's that guy. Now, if we were going to punch, there's, oh no, the skull's not on here. This is the kitty cat, the pumpkin, and the ghost. Yeah, so we couldn't have punched out the skull. We had to cut him anyway. All right, so we've got the ghost. We've got our 3 little characters here. We are ready to put this card together. That away. Okay, here's our card base. I'm going to use Tombow glue. You can use whatever adhesive you'd like if you're crafting along with me. And I'm going to put the fronts on first. If you're interested in my glue holder, oh, nuts. I put that on the wrong side. Okay, we're gonna have to recut that piece. Nothing like live TV, folks. If you're interested in my Tombow Mono glue holder, it is something that my brother made for me. He has a 3D printer, and I can get you hooked up if you're interested in one. I think there's a ton of other people on Etsy that also sell similar products, so you could go there if you wanted. Okay, so I have to cut another piece because I messed that one up. And I'm looking for the polka dots. Here we go. Set this down right over my desk. And we said this was 5 3/8. Right there. Die 2. Okay. No more mess ups. Okay, let's get this on the right side now. For those of you that are watching or watching the playback, I'd love your feedback on what you think about the day and time for this live. I don't know. I didn't want to pick Mondays to do it just because I thought Mondays are kind of hectic for people. And I noticed a lot of people do lives already on Tuesday. So, I don't know. I just picked Thursday. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on if the timing was okay, like right before lunch, or would a lunchtime live be better for you people in the Pacific time zone? I mean, you can always watch the replay, but just curious. Leave me a comment and let me know. I don't have any comments yet. Tell me who's out there, who's watching. What are you guys up to? Okay, so we just glued those panels down. Easy peasy. We might as well glue the inside panel down. And using the Tombow Mono glue lets me shimmy it around a little bit, so I make sure I have it in the perfect spot. Then we're going to put the inside sentiment down. And then I thought she was really cute to put in here too. So cute. Okay, time for the front. Let's do these guys. Look at my card example here. Let's do these guys first. So I just eyeball these and I put these about in the center. For those of you with OCD and need to be precise, you could actually just measure and put a line in the, take a ruler and just measure and put a dot where the center is, and then you could make sure you line it up that way perfectly. I don't care about it so much. Make sure I have those straight. A little crooked. Looks good. Deborah Marshall, hello. Thanks for commenting. Oh, you're in Indiana. That's not Eastern time. I think that's Central. Okay, then we're going to, let's see, let's put our little circles down. And I just have this right in the center of that bottom fourth. And then we're going to put this one down opposite in the center. Then we're going to grab our dimensionals, pop this little guy up. I'm just using 2. I don't think it needs more than that. And I'm kind of putting him, let's see, on my example, I put him off center to the right. So we'll do that. And then, where's my skull? Where did he go? Seriously. Oh, there he is, hiding under the glue. We're going to pop him up with a couple dimensionals. Central time, yeah. I grew up in Michigan, so I'm familiar with East Coast time zones. My family's still back in Michigan, and it drives me nuts at times because 3 hours really is a big deal, because when you think about it, it's like, if you want to call it like after dinner at 6 o'clock or so, it's 9 o'clock there, and my parents are like, what are you doing calling me at 9 o'clock? Okay, so for this one, we're going to center this so that the tips, these 2 tips right here, land right in the center. And we're only going to put dimensionals on this side, because we don't want it to stick to the other side. It would glue the card shut. Rats. You know what I did? I should have put the ribbon down first. Okay, so this is the ribbon that we're using today. It is called the Glittered Organdy ribbon. It is available in the current catalog. And I just cut a couple of pieces, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches long. And I angle the ends, put them together like that. And the way I do it is I position, get the ribbon how I want it to be splayed out underneath. And then normally I wouldn't have those on there right now bothering me. But I think that's going to be good. So I hold it, I flip it over, and I just pull out my regular old Scotch tape. And I tape it in place. And because you're going to hold it down with a glue dot. So like this glue dot right now is not in a good spot. Actually, that would probably be okay. It's not going to, you're not going to be able to tell. But the glue dot is sticking to the ribbon and not to the card. So let's fix that. So I'm just going to pull this off. It's not pretty, but it's doable. Pull it off. Let's put a new one down. So now I'm going to put a new one down right over the top of the ribbon, which is going to hold that in place. And the same for this one. Geez, that's 2 mistakes I made today, Cheryl. Okay, there. So do you see what I did there? Just pull them off. Can't even tell. So now let's put this down on the front. And line up my little points to the center. There we go, like so. Now, this is the part I didn't like. That's why I created the second label, which we're going to put right on top of it here. So now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to put glue dots on this side and a little bit of glue on the other to keep it flat. Okay. So just line this up. Oh, I didn't put glue on this side yet. Like so. And it's hard to do without getting my big old noggin right in the view. Oops. And I'm getting glue all over me from me. Okay. So that is stuck down and covering up the other side, like so. And folks, that's our card. Isn't it cute? I would love to get this in the mail. Okay. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way and we will move on to the treat box. I have to show you my new favorite tool. I can't even remember who the gal was that turned me onto this, but it's called a Tihu, and it's a little desk vacuum. Isn't this cute? Look, you just turn it on right here, and it sucks up. Beautiful, just like that. It will get the largest chunks that it can are about this big, so it only can really handle the small stuff, but it's really great for the glue dots. And then when you want to empty it, you just take off that bottom and put it back on. I'll link this below if you guys are interested in it. I love it. It's actually not that expensive. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't bad. And I use it every day. I love it. Okay, so now we're on to the little tombstone treat box. And the way we're going to do these is Rainy 8. Hello, how are you? Thanks, Deborah. So the treat boxes, there's a definite front and back. There is a small size difference. The larger, I don't know if you can see this, the larger one is the front. So that's this one. If you can't tell by laying them side by side, stack them on top of each other, and then you can see the difference. So this one is definitely larger. That one's going to be the front because that's going to go over the top of the base. So the base is this guy, and it just folds together super quickly. You peel off the tape. Try to anyway, with the lack of fingernails that I have. There we go. Peel off the tape, bend this up, fold that in. Do the same thing on this side. And fold it in. So, really easy. So this is your base. We're not going to fold this one yet because we're going to die cut the window out of it. So I do need my full-size die cutter for that because this is too wide to go through the mini. So we definitely need the big one, which I happen to have right here. And what I did here was I used the, this is my Tasteful Labels die set, which is also currently available in the annual catalog. I grabbed this shape. It's got a little decorative edge to it, but it doesn't show up that great when you run it through. So now the trick is positioning it, and it's a little hard until because you want to see the outline of the tombstone to determine where. So I hold those flaps back, and then I put this down about where I think the center is, where I want it. Then I'm going to use my Post-it tape, which is right here. And because this has to get run through a couple of times, because there's 2 layers of cardstock we're cutting through. So I'm going to put a pretty decent piece of tape on there. And then we're just using our standard plates. Where did my top plate go? I usually have it like always handy right here. This is weird. Oh, here it is. It was hiding. This is always my top plate because it's the clean one, not the dirty one. The dirty one makes impressions. If you use the dirty one on the top, it'll make impressions in the top of your paper, and you don't want that. Okay, so we're just going to run this through. Cross your fingers. This cuts. I think I had to put some elbow grease into it the last time. So I'm going to just give it 2 or 3 runs, like so. And the way you can tell before you remove the tape, the way you can tell is to flip it over, and you can gently push to see. So this doesn't look like it's cut all the way. So what did I do last time? So I think what I did was I took off the tape. Let's try this. So I'm taking off the tape, and it definitely cut through the first layer, which is glued down. Okay, so this is going to look like a disaster, but it's not. Just hold your breath. Okay, so here we have that layer that it didn't quite cut all the way through. So you can do one of 2 things. You can get out your X-Acto knife and just cut away this layer. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it back down, and it should pop right back into place. So because it was so thick, it actually made that groove. And so I'm going to pop it back into place, retape it, and then run it through again. And that should do it. Let's hope. There, you can see it cut. Oh, that one corner is giving me trouble. Actually not. See? There we go. So now we have our window that we're going to put our acetate window in so that whatever you put inside doesn't fall out. Phew. Okay, got through that part. So the acetate came from the stamp set. So I don't know if you guys remember, but they changed the design of the packaging for the polymer, the photopolymer. They started printing the actual stamp image onto the insert instead of on the back of the acetate like it used to be on this with your printed images. But now it's not. So you have this extra piece every time you get a new stamp set. If you use the case as it's intended, you put the images down on the case, and then you've got this extra piece of acetate. So that's what I used to create my window with. And you'll notice, I don't know, can you see how filthy that is? Let's see if I can get the angle just right. It's covered with like residue from stamps and people handling it, whatever, which looks kind of gross in a candy box. And so the way I fixed that was I keep, this is 99% pure alcohol. And I keep a little tube or dauber of this on my desk because it works wonders for cleaning things. It works wonders for cleaning your tools, for your bone folders. If you've got residue, sticky residue and that kind of stuff on your tweezers or whatever, the straight alcohol really polishes up nicely and cleans it beautifully. Well, it also cleans the acetate. So I just wet this down. I got that bottle at Amazon, by the way, if anybody's wondering. It comes in a 2-pack. And yes, I do put nail polish remover in one of them, but this one contains just straight alcohol. And so, so it's very strong. You can smell the alcohol. So it just cleans it up nicely. You've got a nice clean sheet of acetate to cut and use for the window. Okay, so this is the other piece I had out. So there's no real science to this. I'm just going to eyeball it and cut. You could use your trimmer if you wanted. Oops. But I'm just going to use the scissors. Oh, and that's a little bit too wide. And then cut off the bottom like so. So now you've got, yeah, that's going to fit. So now just grab your tear and tape. And we're going to use a little tear and tape all the way around. And then for this, I'm going to just remove it with my Take Your Pick tool. Like so. And then grab your acetate and maybe give it one more wipe. And just lay it down, press it down. So now you have your acetate window right there. Now you can assemble the box. Oh, before we do that though, there's another thing we need to do. I stamped on my box. So right here, this little spider guy. And that took a little bit of time to dry, but I think it was worth it. So we're gonna do it again. And the spider came from here, and then I hand drew him the little web, or sorry, not the web, but this thing. But then I realized I have this spider that's already got the line on it, so let's use him instead. And then you have the, where'd my box go? So you have the little spider web that we're going to put on the top corner. And so you just need to make sure when you do that, you position him properly so that he comes down from one of the web thingy comes down. So I'm going to put that, I'm going to line up the bottom of of this little groove here with the bottom of the spider and stamp him down. And then I might have to get out my heat gun to kind of heat set it dry. You know, you might try using, if you have it, StazOn ink, because that probably would maybe work a little better than regular Memento, but I actually don't know where mine is at the moment. And then I'm just going to stamp him like so, a little crooked. That's okay. Maybe he's had a little too much Halloween candy. Okay, So while he is drying, we are going to die cut the web. We're going to die cut the tag for the treat, and then we're going to do the lower sentiment. So the web came from this set here, the Frightful Tags. And I've used this, I cut a bunch of white webs too. I always wondered, people always make cobwebs of spiders out of black, but when you think about it, they're really kind of more white than they are black, which is why I cut a bunch of white ones. But I didn't like how they looked as white, so I went back to the black. That's just my silly mind working. I thought I had some black scrap out. I did. Okay, so here's some scrap black paper. I'm gonna grab the mini again. Lay this down. If you had your act together, you could actually die cut the sentiment at the same time with one pass, but I don't. Okay, so there's that, and then the sentiment is going to go on this guy right here, and that is done in white. So we've got him. Then, time to do a little stamping. Put this guy back. It's always fun to clean up my desk after a live because holy cow, what a disaster. I need to pre-cut this. I like to pre-cut my sentiment strips so that I know exactly where I'm stamping it. And I think I cut that strip at, this looks like to be a 1/2 inch to me, but let's just measure. Yeah, that's a 1/2 inch. So we're just going to cut a 1/2 inch strip. Oh, that's crooked. Try that again. There we go. And we're going to, I already had that out, stamp it up. You guys doing okay? You're hanging with me still, I hope. I need this guy. Okay. Then we're going to do Treat Yourself. That came from this stamp set. And that's going to go onto this tag right here. Didn't look like I got very good coverage there. I'm going to do it again. There we go. Then we need to cut out a little ghost. Just going to trim that off. Set that up here. And my ghost paper went somewhere. I think I need to go and order another pack of this paper because I've been going through it like crazy. So we are going to just make it easy on ourselves and punch him out. And then we're going to get rid of all these spider webby things. This is where that desk vacuum comes in. Super handy. You could use that tool that, whoops, this doesn't seem to be, there we go. There's a rolly tool. Oh, I have it right here. I don't use this very often. I don't like it. I see some people use it successfully, but I have just as much success using this. It takes a little bit longer probably. Okay. I build a box of Halloween treats for my grandkids, and I'm super excited for this year's box of goodies that I'm going to ship to them because I've got all these fun little characters to use for decorating treat boxes and whatever. Okay, here we go. You guys ready for this? No more mess. Love it. Okay, so this guy is still not dry. Can you see that little wet spot in the center of him? So we're going to just heat dry him real fast. Sorry about the noise. There. And I'm just going to shut my door because I heard my husband come home. There we go. Which means I'm late. I'm supposed to have his lunch ready for him. Okay. Now we can fold him up. Take off this backing. And secure him in there. Just like so. There. We have our cute little box. So let's decorate him up real fast. I've got glue all over me. I'm going to spray glue on here, this guy. And for that, I'm going to use this right here. And I'm not going to do it on camera because I do it over my wastebasket. And I do it using an older tweezers that I don't care if it gets all gunked up. But basically, because this is so fine. I mean, you could use your Tombow Mono glue, or you could use adhesive sheets. That's the other thing. Darn it, I should have done that. That would have been good. Sorry, I've got a couple more pieces in here that won't go away. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around, hold this over my wastebasket, and give it a good spray. That's all it takes, just a really light touch there. And then we're going to, let's see. I want to make sure it's lined up with the top of the web, with this little web guy right there. And then he just glues down really nice, like so. And then that should dry non-tacky when it does dry. Then we have, we're going to put on the ghost. This guy's going to go here, and this guy's going to go here. Well, we're going to flag the ends. This is another, I do have the banner punch or flag punch thing, but this one works too, where you just slide it in and give it a snip. Like so. So that's going to go there. Get some of this stuff out of my way here. Okay, so I fussed with how to, like what angle to put these at. I think I'm going to put that on straight, just like so. Maybe right there. Hey Katie, hello, how are you? I haven't been able to look up to see my comments, so if you joined a while ago, sorry. Okay, so that's going down there like that. We're going to put a couple dimensionals on this guy. And put him right there. For the ribbon, I used the black and white. This came from the, oh shoot, it's the pet one. It's still available. I can't think of the name of it now. I'll tell you. So what I do here is I just fold this in half. And it's a little thick for this hole, so it's a little tricky to get through. I might have to use my tweezers. There we go. So pull that through with the loop end first through the back, and then you just feed the two loose ends through like so to tie as a knot. And then you can either leave the ends like that loose, just trim them a little bit, or you can tie a little bow. Some people just don't like doing bows. Sometimes they're a pain. But this particular twine actually ties up fairly easily. Okay, bring these ends, fiddle with a little bit up. Let's pop this up with some dimensionals too. And then I'm going to stick a little glue dot behind the knot of that bow. I'm going to kind of roll it up a little bit. I don't know if you can guys see that where it's at. Take these off. And then just place it down. And then place this guy like so. And there's the front fully decorated. So now you're going to ask me, what did I do to put my candy in? I went to Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I can't remember that's the name of it here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's these little Google eyes. I've got the autumn mix, which is candy corn. There's these skulls, which are little crispy, Rice Krispie skulls. And then some of these I've already eaten. Some jack-o'-lanterns. But I used the, here's the mini pumpkins, which I love. And then this is just the plain candy corn. So what I did was I happen to have these on hand. They're little cellophane bags. I get them from Amazon. They're the smaller size. I can't remember why I bought these, but I got them about a year ago, and I use them on occasion, and this particular occasion, they came in super handy. So they have a little seal on them, so you can just add however much. You can tell I've been eating these. I would probably put a little bit more in, but I'm not going to open another bag right now. So, and then just fold it over and seal. Open up your box. And voila. Oh, and we put a bow on it too. I did a bow to actually keep it shut. This is extra. You don't actually have to do this if you don't want to, but this is the glittered organdy ribbon again. But I just wrapped. This kind of extra seals it if you are worried about somebody sneaking it before they're supposed to. I always tie a ribbon with my tweezers that clamp like that. It's my third hand. I love it. So you just take that off, then you fiddle with your bow, like so. Oops, let's do a better cut. Cute. Okay, let me show you some of the other projects. We've been on for a while, so I'm going to try to wrap this up for you, but I want to get my stuff out of the way so you can see the other ones I've made. Let's see. Okay, so this is the card that we made today. And so we made 2 of these. So these are cute. I'll have these to send out. This one I made last night. I was watching YouTube's, and I was just intrigued by the diagonal cuts. And then I cut these out. These are all from the pattern paper. Have a Fabulous Halloween. So there's one. This one I love. It's kind of random, but this came from the stamp set called Well Defined. This one right here. And it uses this little definition. It's a play on words, definition of Halloween. When taking candy from strangers is good and dressing normally is strange. So what I did was just a repeating background, stamped it. And then this is the, oh heck. I have the name of it handy. Stamped some bats on it. The brooms, I fussy cut. Those came from, let's see. Those came from Clever Cats, which I'm going to probably do next week for my live. So I just stamped that twice and fussy cut it twice. The hat came from there also. Yep, the hat and the brooms came from there. And then I just popped it up on a little thing. You're So Sweet, It's Scary. Added a cobweb and my favorite spider. The last one, I'm not terribly thrilled with this one, but I wanted to figure out how to use this paper. So I die cut the little fences that come with the Frightful tags, these guys. And the owl came from there. Die cut the tag. So all of these die cuts came from this set right here. And then I just put a couple of things inside, left it blank for the most part. So there are my projects, my spooky, cute Halloween projects. And I love the green one. Send him to me. Oh, you got it, girl. Done and done. if anybody else would like any of these cards, I'll send one to the first person that pings me that they want one, that they want it. So we've got 2 of the Hey Boos up for grabs. Happy Haunting with the skulls and pumpkins, or Happy Haunting with the brooms. Ping me, leave a comment or whatever, and I'll send it to you. This one's earmarked for Katie. And the treat box is going to my grandkids, so you can't have that. All right, you guys, I've kept you long enough. If you're still here, thanks for joining. My next live will be next Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the products that I used here, you can get them in my online store. Just go to cardsbycheryl.com, click shop, and that will jump you to my online store with Stampin' Up. There is a host code. I would love for you to use the host code. Let me pop it up on the screen. This will allow me to collect some goodies for you that I can then pass on to my customers and my YouTube watchers. So that's it for me. Hope you guys have a great day. And for those of you in the Pacific Northwest, get your raincoat out because it's coming. There's a big storm coming tomorrow. So I'll be crafting all weekend. I hope you guys get to do some too. Take care. Talk to you soon.